Hi everyone! Welcome to my cooking channel Japanese Food at Home. I'm Chef Reina from Japan. This time, I'm gonna show you how to make chirashi sushi. In Japan, chirashi sushi is as popular as nigiri sushi and sushi rolls. In particular, it may be the most commonly made at-home sushi because it's easier to make than the other types, which require more advanced skills to shape them. Chirashi sushi is famous as a celebratory dish for Hinamatsuri, which is an annual event on March 3rd to wish for the healthy growth of girls. But it's also commonly eaten on various other celebratory occasions, such as birthdays, school entrance, and graduation dates. Alright then, let's go through the ingredient list. To prepare sushi rice, you need 1 rice measuring cup of uncooked rice, which corresponds to 180 milliliters. For your information, in Japanese cooking terms, a measuring cup usually indicates 200 milliliters in volume, but when it comes to the rice measuring cup, it's 180 milliliters. It's confusing, I know. To make sushi rice, you need a sushi vinegar. If you have a ready-made product, go ahead and use it. If you don't have one, you can make it from scratch with vinegar, sugar, and salt. Shirodashi is optional, and it gives a deeper flavor. For the toppings, basically you can use anything you like, there's no rule. In this recipe, I'm gonna use various items, and you don't necessarily have to prepare all of them. Please take them as a reference. One of the toppings is pickled lotus root, made from lotus root, vinegar, water, sugar, salt, and red chili pepper. The quantities are larger than actually used for the chirashi sushi for ease of preparation. Another item for the topping is kinshi tamago, which is shredded egg crabs, and you need a whole egg, an egg yolk, and salt. The neutral oil is to grease a frying pan. The other topping items are sashimi-grade seafood, shrimps or prawns, salmon roe, nanohana, toasted white sesame seeds, and green chisel leaves. And the dish will be served with soy sauce. So now, let's start by preparing the rice. To enjoy the taste and aroma of the rice as best you can, you should rinse the rice with water before cooking unless you use no-wash rice. Pour some water over the rice in a rice cooker bowl, then rinse it quickly and discard the water right away. Next, gently rub the grains by stirring the rice with your hand for about 20 to 30 seconds. After that, pour in some water and rinse the rice again. Immediately pour off the cloudy water and pour in some fresh water again. Repeat this process until the water is no longer cloudy. Next, pour in water until it reaches the measurement line on the bowl for 1 rice cup. Then remove 1½ or 2 tablespoons of water from there. This is because you want to cook the rice a little hotter and drier than usual to allow for the addition of sushi vinegar in a later process, in order not to make the sushi rice soggy. After that, cook the rice with a rice cooker. It takes an hour or so. In the meantime, let's prepare the pickled lotus root. By the way, have you ever seen flower-shaped slices like these? Let me show you how to do that. Here is a bulb of peeled lotus root. You may want to use a small one to top the chirashi sushi. I'm gonna have the length so it's easy to work with. To give it a flower shape, we're gonna cut out curvy notches between each larger air channel. First, make a cut lengthwise here. Then make a rounded cut from the right towards the previous cut. Turn upside down and do the same for the other side. Even trimmed scraps can be used to sprinkle over the sushi rice, so let's keep them in water together with the surplus peeled lotus root to prevent discoloration. Then repeat the process of making curvy notches until you've cut around the entire outside of the lotus root. Finally, thinly slice it. You can make flower-shaped slices this way. So now let's make pickling marinade. In a small mixing bowl, combine the vinegar, water, sugar, and salt. Then stir well to dissolve the sugar. Finally, add the chili pepper. Okay then, boil the lotus root slices. Add some salt to a pot of boiling water. Then put the slices in, followed by the trimmed scraps. Once they are cooked through, drain with a skimmer. Add them to the marinade and set aside until ready to use. Next, work on the nanohana. For those who are not familiar with it, nanohana is canola flowers harvested before blooming. It has a slightly bitter taste profile and is available only in spring, so it's treated as a seasonal bounty. If it's not available, go ahead and use another green vegetable such as snow peas. The flower heads are soft while the stems are harder and take longer to cook through, so the trick to boiling nanohana perfectly is to differentiate the boiling time. Here is the leftover salted water in the pot. Bring it to the boil again, then using a pair of tongs, soak the stems in the boiling water while holding the heads up above the water. Gently swing the stems so you can feel how soft they are getting. Once the stems are flexible, release the heads and sink them entirely. After 20 seconds or so, drain and transfer them in an ice bath to preserve the bright green color. When the nanohana is chilled enough, gently squeeze out water by hand, from the bottom of the stems towards the heads. After that, remove excess water with a paper towel. Then separate the heads from the stems and chop the stems. Next, work on the prawns. I'd like to boil them with the shells on to prevent the flesh from shrinking. You can devein them using a toothpick or skewer. Stick the toothpick under the vein into the second joint from the tail and then pull it up. If nothing is hung up, that's okay, the vein has already been removed. If the vein is left, it will be exposed, so you just need to pull it out towards the tail, gently and carefully. So now, boil the prawns. Bring the leftover salted water to the boil. If you want to reduce the fishy smell of prawns, add some sake to the water as an option. Sink the prawns into the boiling water. Then cook for about 90 seconds for this size of prawn. After that, transfer them into an ice bath and chill them for a while. The shelling process is the same as in my earlier video on summer seafood yakisoba. The secret to shelling the tail part without breaking any flesh is to snap the tip of the talison, which is the spiky part in the middle of the tail. This tiny air hole makes it easier to pull out the flesh. Pull it gently and carefully towards the head while pinching the end of the tail. You can shell shrimp and prawn without losing any parts this way. I'm gonna cut my prawns into bite-sized pieces, but you can use yours whole if you want to. Alright, next, let's make the kinshi tamago. To give it a vivid yellow color, I'm gonna combine a whole egg with an egg yolk, but if you don't want to leave an egg white, go ahead and use one whole egg or two. If you want to know how to store leftover egg whites, check out my earlier video on Japanese apricot mochi. Add some salt to taste and beat the eggs well. You want to break the jelly-like parts of the egg white as finely as you can. When you try to hold up the mixture with the chopsticks and no egg white chunks are hanging out, Sieve it to achieve even finer and smoother egg crepes. To cook kimchi tamago, a rectangular frying pan works best, but if you don't have one, it's okay to use an ordinary round frying pan. Preheat the pan over low heat and grease the base with oil using a folded paper towel. To check the temperature, dip the tips of the chopsticks into the egg mixture. Then draw lines on the pan. If they cook quickly and silently, pour enough mixture to thinly cover the base. Tilt the pan immediately to spread it out all over the base, rotating your wrist. When it loses liquidity and the surface becomes somewhat matte, carefully peel off the crepe and flip it over. Cook the other side quickly for 20 seconds or so, just to dry the surface. Then remove from the pan. Repeat this process until the mixture runs out. With my frying pan, I can make 2 crepes from this quantity. Stack the crepes up, then half the length, and pile up further. The cut side of the rectangle is neatly straight, but the other 3 sides are not, so cut off the edges. Lastly, shred the crepes into thin strips. This is how to make kimchi tamago. Next, shred the shiso leaves. I've already elaborated on how to do that in my earlier video on ginger pork, so let me go through this step quickly. Stack the leaves up, cut off the stems, roll them up, and shred. Do not put any pressure on them. Just relax and slide the blade back and forth to take advantage of the sharpness of the blade. If your cutting board is not stained with the green juice but still clean like this, you've done well. Next, cut the seafood. For today, I'm gonna use salmon, sea bream, and tuna. You can choose whatever seafood you like, but you may want to have a variety of colors. This step is very simple. Just dice the seafood into chunks, approx 2 cm pieces. All the toppings are ready. We're almost there. The last part of the prep is to make the sushi rice. First, prepare the sushi vinegar. If you have a store-bought sushi vinegar like this, feel free to use it. If you want to make it from scratch, add the sugar and salt to the vinegar. Optionally, add a bit of shirodashi. Then stir well until the sugar and salt dissolve. Take the bowl out of the rice cooker. Then insert a damp spatula between the bowl and the edge of the rice and run it around. Also, make a cross as if you were going to quarter the rice, so you'll be able to easily loosen the rice lump. Flip the bowl over to put the rice onto the large deep sheet pan. You can also use a large mixing bowl, but it may be easier to work with a sheet pan as it has a larger work surface. Pour the sushi vinegar over the rice while catching the vinegar with the spatula so you can sprinkle it thinly and evenly all over the rice. After that, loosen the lump and flip the grains over. Next, loosen the chunks further and spread over the sheet pan, moving the spatula as if you were slicing the rice with it. Please be careful not to crush the rice grains or your sushi rice will be sticky. Turn the sheet pan around halfway, and do the same for the rest. Once the entire rice is dressed with the vinegar, cool and dry the surface with a hand fan. This prevents the rice from becoming soggy. Flip the rice over occasionally. When it reaches body temperature, gather all the rice in a corner and cover with a damp paper towel. Alright, this is how to prepare sushi rice. So now it's time to plate. This is the fun part. Serve the rice in a dish, then sprinkle the pickled lotus fruit scraps over it, followed by the sesame seeds, chopped nanohana stems, and shredded shiso leaves. Next, place the kimchi tamago on the outer surface and arrange the seafood on the inner surface. You don't have to follow my lead. Feel free to plate as you like. Finally, garnish with the flower-shaped lotus fruit slices, nanohana flower heads, and salmon roe. It's done! Alright, this is how to make chirashi sushi. The dish looks beautiful like a jewelry box, doesn't it? Divide the portion you want to eat and serve in a smaller dish. Drizzle some soy sauce and enjoy. In the next video, I will show you how to make sakura mochi, one of the most popular seasonal confections in spring. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see how it is made. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Have a great day with delicious food. See you next time.